and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 6 deal sheet video with me, Holly Shand, where I pick out one player in each position that you shouldn't buy, monitor or sell ahead of the Gameweek 6 deadline. Help me get this one to 500 likes and I'm really close to 26k subscribers. I'll be answering all comments on this video as well. Let's get into it. Starting with defenders then, and on the buy list is Newcastle United's Sven Botman, 4.5 million, 13.8% owned. He's looking like an absolute bargain now that Newcastle's fixtures have turned for the better. Some promising underlying numbers from him as well. He's had 4 bonus points so far this season. He's also had 2 big chances created, which puts him 4th among defenders. And he's got a bit of goal threat as well with 4 shots. So I know he's a centre-back, but he is a centre-back with attacking threat. And he does look nailed on for starts, even though Newcastle United are emerging in their busy European schedule. Premier League fixtures are quite nice. Sheffield United away, Burnley at home in the next 2 games. And their underlying defensive numbers are very good as well. Just 6 big chances conceded on their goal. They've been unlucky not to keep more clean sheets to date, but they're definitely coming. On the monitor list is Brighton's Tariq Lamptey. It's great to see this young player back from injury. He's a player that hasn't seen many minutes in the Premier League over the last few seasons. When he does start, he's electric, but he struggles to stay fit. However, at 3.9 million, he could be an absolute bargain and a great enabler for anyone on a wild card right now. He's already got 2 assists in his game against Manchester United at the weekend from his first start of the season, which is really encouraging. And while Brighton have got a very busy European campaign, the next 2 fixtures don't look too bad. Bournemouth at home, Aston Villa away. I think that will suit them in the Premier League. Obviously, minutes are not guaranteed for Lamptey, but he's still looking like he could be a great fantasy pick. Regrettably, on the sell list is Chelsea's Ben Chilwell, who found himself benched for the trip to Bournemouth away. Pochettino's been playing him as a left winger all season, but he is a defensive player. He's not a winger, and Poch has realised that he probably needs to start someone with a bit more attacking impetus in this position. He's already seen 50,000 transfers out, the most sold defender ahead of FPL Gameweek 6, and I have to agree, 32% owned, but at his price tag, he's not living up to expectations right now. We cannot carry a player of his calibre if he's not guaranteed to start every game. Chelsea aren't in Europe either, so there was high hopes for him, but for me, now he's got to go. Into the midfield and on the buy list is Liverpool's Mohamed Salah, 60,000 transfers in for Game Week 6, already the 4th most bought player, ownership creeping up from 26%, and it's his consistency after delivering an attacking return in every single game week so far this season. You cannot deny that, and he could be an alternative captain pick when we get to Game Week 9 and Game Week 10, where Manchester City have some tricky fixtures. Obviously, Liverpool aren't in the Champions League. I expect they'll use a second-tier squad for most of the Europa League games, which could keep Salah fresh and available for Jurgen Klopp. His underlying numbers are excellent. He's top for big chances created with 6, top for assists with 4, and he's second for expected goal involvements this season on 6.1, behind only Erling Haaland. If you haven't got him in your team, you need to be looking at a way to get him in. Definitely by Game Week 9. But in the meantime, West Ham away, Spurs at home and Brighton away. I don't think that's a bad fixture run for Salah either. Moving on to the monitor list, and it's Manchester United's Marcus Rashford, who was a player that I thought was perhaps a sell. But even though he blanked in against Brighton in Game Week 5, some encouraging underlying numbers where he had 9 shots on goal. We've seen Fernandes in a deeper role, and now with those 2, if you're still holding both, Rashford looks the one to keep. 50,000 transfers out, the 2nd most sold midfielder. But in terms of his underlying numbers, he's 2nd for shots on goal in the last 3 game weeks since he's moved to the wing with 16. He's got 3 attacking returns in that time. It's certainly helping him being on the left wing with Højlund in the squad now for Manchester United as well. And his form in Old Trafford was incredible last season. He's got 2 home games in the next 3. The fixtures looking nice. Burnley away, Crystal Palace at home, Brentford at home. I think you can afford to hold on to him. On the sell list, though, is Arsenal's Martin Odegaard. Only seen 10,000 transfers out so far, but 21% owned. He's not the best Arsenal midfielder to own. Arsenal aren't showing us enough to think that we want to be doubled up on their attack right now. Saka the superior pick. His underlying numbers have been really, really poor this season. He's had 2 key passes. Last season, he was up there as one of the best creators in the league, but his role's changed this season. He's far less involved in that attacking play. One big chance, and that was the penalty that he scored back in game week 2. Saka back on penalties now. So I think for me, Odegaard is one to sell because there's just far too much choice in this midfield bracket, and 2 tricky fixtures in the next 3, the North London derby and Manchester City. Now is the time to lose him. Into the forward line and on the buy list, the most bought player so far ahead of game week 6, Manchester City's Julian Alvarez. He's in 19% of squads now, and that's because he's second for goal involvement so far this season on 7, behind teammate Erling Haaland. His minutes look nailed. He's completed 449 of a possible 450 minutes. He's on set pieces as well, with De Bruyne injured. He's had 17 corners, created 16 key passes. The underlying numbers are sensational for him. The minutes are there as well. Famous last words, but Pep has been really positive about his performances. Forest at home, Wolves away, the next 2 fixtures. I know European action is back for City, but Alvarez is simply undroppable right now. On the monitor list is Luton's Morris. He's in just 2% of squads, 5.5 million. The double game week is coming for Luton now in game week 7. They play Wolves at home this weekend. Then they've got the double header in the double game week, Everton away, Burnley at home. Fixtures that I think will really suit Morris as the talisman of the team. He's on penalties. He's got 2 goal involvements already in Luton's opening 4 games, and he's definitely one to consider. Even if it's as your 8th man in a 3-5-2 as your backup striker, having that utility for double game week 7 will really help. So do consider bringing him in. On the sell list though, he was on the monitor list last week, on the sell list this week, Nicholas Jackson. I simply cannot look at him in my FPL team anymore. So disappointing. The second most sold player this game week, still 17% owned. The big issue with him, well, 2 issues. First of all, he's finishing. He's had 7 big chances on goal, only scored the 1 goal. It means he's got 11 points in the first 5 game weeks, so just over 2 points per game, because he's got 4 yellow cards. Now, when he picks up his 5th yellow card, he'll get a 1-game suspension, and with 4 yellows in the first 5, he's always busy with his work off the ball. It's probably going to happen quite soon, looking at his current record. So I know the fixtures remain nice for Chelsea. Villa at home, Fulham away, Burnley away. But he's just been too wasteful with his chances. Luton at home was the key fixture for him, where he did deliver, but it's been sparse beyond that. And now, for me, he's a sell. Here's the deal sheet in full then. Let me know your big transfer dilemmas for FPL Game Week 6. I'm answering all comments on this video. Help me get it to 500 likes and subscribe to the channel as well. I'd love to hit 26,000 subscribers soon. All the data in this video is taken from Fantasy Football Hub Opta Stats tool, which is available with a 7-day free trial and 30% off using the link in the description to this video. Win your mini league or your money back offer live until the end of the month as well. And make sure you hit the notify button, because I'm very close to hitting the wildcard button, and I'll have my Game Week 6 team selection dropping tomorrow. You do not want to miss that one. Thank you for watching.